And welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avanties, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Zerotio.
What is up, gang? And we have us, and I'm going to steal Avanties' thunder. We have us a guest. Well,
It's not really
kind of
a guest.
I just decided to show up today, that's all.
It's Mattatarms.
How you doing, guys? How's it going?
Our
Glad
third
to
head
have you
to our
back.
Hydra.
It's been
Third head
too
to our
long.
Hydra. He is third head to our Hydra. He is able to come in with us this week, and we're really excited to have him because we have a lot of really good news to talk about this week, right, Avanti?
Yeah, we do have some interesting changes to talk about with the Masters Qualifiers, and they just announced the new Masters Tour for 2020. Is that right? So
Yes.
yeah. So we got a good bit of news to talk about, and we're going to take a look back at week one of the Tombs of Terror now being open, and see how everybody is enjoying it so far. And then we've got a fun little combo priest to check out during the second half of the show in the play portion. So let's get this on the road. So changes for Masters Qualifiers. So first up, the Masters Tour Qualifiers will use the Conquest best of 3 with 3 decks with a banned format. Now, this is something that they've done in the past. I was excited to see this format come back. How about you guys? Matt, let's start with you.
I'm actually, when I saw it was best of 3 for Masters Qualifiers, for the qualifiers, I actually got excited because I like Specialist, but I never got into Specialist. I think best of 3 con with a band with a Conquest is actually pretty interesting. I think it would be fun to see what comes out of that.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is obviously the format they used for the HCT last year. And now this is not to be mistaken with the Grandmaster format, which uses the Conquest with the shield. So basically they set a precedence that all of the competitive esports for Hearthstone are going to be Conquest, where the Masters Tour is just Conquest with a ban, and they're implementing this the next Masters Tour, which I believe is Bucharest. And then all of the qualifiers after that are going to be Conquest, just like it was last year. But the Grandmasters is Conquest with a shield, which I kind of like this because it's almost like a slight tweak to the rules. So if you do well in Masters, you're going to be comfortable with the format being Conquest. You're just going to have to adapt to a change of changing to shield if you qualify to go up into the Grandmasters. I do like that both are similar, but slightly different to kind of show off a different skill set.
Yeah, and I actually had the luck, I guess you could say, or the pleasure of having coffee this week with a guy that used to be on this show named Versika, and he and I got to actually talking about this a little bit, and you know, he kind of echoed the sentiments that the majority of the community had shared, that Specialist was just boring. It wasn't fun to watch. It wasn't enjoyable. And he was actually excited about Grandmasters going back to Conquest with the Shield phase. I actually told him about the Master Tour Qualifiers going to Conquest best of 3, and he was even more excited about that because he, you know, like us, he really enjoys the format. He thinks it's a good option for the players, and looking forward to seeing how it pans out. With that, you know, in the past, these Masters Qualifiers have been limited to 300 players, but now they're expanding that to a maximum capacity of 512 players. They've added more RAM to these Masters Qualifiers.
Yeah, and more importantly, what this says to me is not so much the online qualifiers, but it kind of opens the door to DreamHacks and other third-party events holding qualifiers again, because a lot of the limiting factor was they didn't want to just do 300 people tournaments because we're at a big convention like DreamHack. You want to have a return on your investment. And when those are paid seats to enter into the tournament, limiting to 300, it wasn't worth their money. So hopefully the fact that they've expanded these out to 512 to qualify for a Masters qualifier, it will allow third-party companies like DreamHack to start scheduling some of these events in 2020. That excites me more than anything else.
I just wish that they would allow, because I know there's a certain number of spots that are reserved for tournament invitees. I mean, I know it's not the format, which is Conquest, but DreamHack has traditionally done Last Hero Standing. I'm not sure how good Last Hero Standing is going to be with a best-of-3 format, quite honestly, but it'd be interesting to see if they would actually allow like a place like DreamHack to continue running the Last Hero Standing with invites into the Masters Tour stops.
Yeah. I also really like that in an effort to reduce the length of these events, they're actually going to be making all Masters qualifiers into single elimination events. I mean, that kind of opens the door now for people who get eliminated early could maybe sign up and play in some side events, which as an innkeeper, I'm all about being able to maximize people's involvement and fun. And, you know, if you get eliminated in round one, go sign up for a side tournament and maybe you can win some prize money or something, you know, that, I mean, you're not just saying, oh, you traveled 8 hours and you're out in round one. Now go try something else, you know? So,
yeah, that's exciting. One other thing, a couple other things actually, for trying to qualify, they made a change recently that if a player makes top 8 at least 6 times, they qualify to go to that season's Masters Tour. They changed that from 6 to 5. So if you top 8 5 different qualifiers, you are invited. Also, they made another change. They had changed it so that the top 2 qualified, where they're going back down to just first place qualifies. But with single elimination and the possibility of top 8ing in 5 different events getting you in, this is still a net positive for qualifiers.
okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad change. In fact, that's probably a good change for most people. They're also going back to only awarding the first place competitor in Masters qualifiers. Mattatarms, we were briefly discussing, this used to be the top 2 places, right?
That's correct. That's what. Yeah, they used to be top 2 and kind of made the last game of that qualifier not really matter that much.
Yeah,
I think this makes it a little more competitive throughout, and you know, now it's okay. You know, so now we'll actually have a winner of each qualifier, as much as that really matters in the long run. But you know, the guy who wins gets to go, so that's good for that guy, I guess. But it's easier to get in with only 5 top 8s as opposed to 6.
Okay. All right. Also, they are adding more pack prizing to Masters qualifiers. Zerotio, do we know how this is changing?
They've just said they're adding more pack prizing. They keep pushing the fact that they believe the players are staying in these tournaments so that they get more packs, and most of the competitive community, believe that's not the case. Most of the players that make the top 64 or so in these tournaments, they already have all the cards, so they really don't want for any of these cards. So I don't think this is really a meaningful change. The only thing it is if you do play in these and enjoy the extra pack rewards for your time, this will make it so you don't drop out earlier. But since it's single elimination, that kind of goes away because people would drop out early because of Swiss. So I don't think this is really important at all.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty moot point. However, the next change is actually probably the most important change in all of this, and that is they will be giving direct invites for Masters Tour events to the top 16 players who have not yet been invited via the ladder players from each region at the end of every month. totaling out to 96 invites per qualifying period. So each month, the top 16 ladder players who are not yet already invited will receive an invite. That's huge. That makes ladder relevant again.
Yeah, ladder matters. This is important to note. Is it's the top 16 at the end of the month in your region that have not qualified. So if you're like, hitting 54 or something like that and being like, you know what, I'm so far from 16, it's not worth pushing. No, push, because you might make top 50 and be out of the top 16, but 20 of those guys may already be qualified because they're monthly ladder grinders, or 30 of those guys might be qualified. And you might sneak in as long as you're in the top 50. Now, obviously, if you're not close to top 50, I don't think this really matters so much because, that's just the nature of it. But what's nice is this is every single month. So they were doing the whole top 200, got a separate tournament, and then the top 4 of those, and that was real convoluted. I like this a lot better. There are some ladder grinders in our community. One I would like to note over at Coin Concede, Appa. This will be really big news for him because he's been consistently pushing for top 100 legend ladder, and he might actually be able to get in on this.
Yeah, this is huge for the tournament grinders, but 16 spots is tight, really tight. But
it's 16 spots is tight just normally, but the fact that a large majority of those top 100s are probably already grinding qualifiers. Maybe they top 16 the previous month, so they're not eligible. So this might even go down to somebody who's like an 80th because of all the people that are already qualified. So don't see this as only the top 16 qualifying, because a lot of those people play enough Hearthstone and compete at a high level. They're probably already qualified.
Yes.
Yeah, like this gives the people what they wanted with, like, okay, the people that are like lighter grinders, always at the top, they give them a reward and a chance to show off their skills at a Masters Tour stop, which is awesome in my opinion.
Yeah, and
usually I hit legend to stop. This will make me want to push for top 100.
Yeah, and speaking of qualifying for one of these Masters Tours, Blizzard has announced the next stop on the Hearthstone Masters Tour will take place in Arlington, Texas, January 30th through February 2nd. It'll be happening at the Esports Stadium in Arlington, and players will be competing for their share of the $250,000 prize pool. Now, the important part, the qualifying window for Masters Tour Arlington will start on October 3rd and run through November 24th. So you start signing up for Masters Qualifiers 2 weeks before they start on Battlefy. Remember that. You want to start signing up 2 weeks before October 3rd to get into these Masters Qualifiers.
I think you can start signing up now, actually. I think they're up there now.
Well, yeah. We're within 2 weeks of the first week, so you can sign up now.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Also, not in the show notes, but worth noting, all Masters Tour stops from now on are going to be best of 5 4-deck conquests, not best of 3. So the qualifiers are going to be best of 3. The tour stops are going to be best of 5, 1 ban, no shields. Only Grandmasters is doing the shielded program, and I'm expecting them after this season to drop that and just go straight conquest again.
I don't know. I think they'll actually keep the shield because it does add another level of experience and expertise, and that's indicative and should be expected from the Grandmasters. They want Grandmasters to be slightly different than the Masters Tour, and I think having the shield being the only difference is small enough that it's not going to be a big shock for competitors to go from one to the other. But honestly, I hope they keep it because that gives me something as a viewer that I can see and not necessarily get to do in the current Masters qualifier system, and that's worth watching. It makes it unique.
Yeah, so that's exciting stuff. That's pretty much all we have on the Masters Tour and the new Masters Tour Arlington that was announced. GameStop has announced they're bringing back the 10 free packs promotion with a $20 select purchase. Now, what is the select purchase? That is the key, and that was the key to the last thing, because and I talked to multiple GameStop managers from multiple regions of the country, and they all seem to be kind of in the air. Nobody exactly knew. Some said it only qualified on new game purchases. Others said it only qualified on certain merchandise purchases. Some told me that if you bought a $20 Battle.net card, you didn't qualify.
Yeah.
So, GameStop, you guys that have listened a long time know I'm not a fan. Haven't been a fan of GameStop in a long time. The way the company is run is just pretty crap. They don't communicate with their associates on the store level to let them know what's happening. So there's a lot of confusion when you go into a GameStop and ask about this stuff. People just don't know. So go at your own peril. Know that if you go in and you go to buy something, there's a chance you might get this, there's a chance you might not. It just depends on the store in the region and the person working on that day and whether they rolled out a bet on the left side or the right side. That's all I can tell you. So,
but on to the next news, because I don't think we need to give that a lot of topic. Tombs of Terror came out this past Tuesday, and Chapter 3 starts this Tuesday, which is the 24th.
That's awesome.
Have you guys been enjoying the Tombs of Terror so far?
Go ahead, Matt. I'll let you start.
I have, and I actually am shocked about that, because quite honestly, I expected this to be kind of fall the same way that Monster Hunt did, where it's like the exact same thing over again. It's like, oh gee, I did this last quarter. Get to do it again, but with slightly different classes. But no, this is a lot of fun. The Plague bosses on their own make the difference. And I think the Plague bosses with the 3 phases and, okay, you didn't quite get it this time, but you can finish it up the next run, is absolutely amazing. And I think that's what makes it better. The treasures are completely off the wall in this one, and I love it.
Oh yeah.
Playing as Sir Finley is fun. Playing as Reno is basically my dream. That's just me. I just love Reno Jackson. And yeah, I'm looking forward to. I might actually drop the rest of the $10 I need to pay for the rest of the 2 wings, because I really enjoyed the first 2 wings with the free one and the one I spent with gold. So
yeah. So I've been having a blast with it. I got lucky and I played Finley first because I like Finley's classes, Shaman and Paladin, and I one-shot the first wing with Finley and had a blast doing it. Then I switched over to try to beat the first chapter with Reno, and basically Reno is my nightmare. He is mage and rogue, and just nothing ever goes right, it feels like, with that deck. However, on my most recent run, I have made it through the first 7 bosses. I am at the Plague Lord, but I have not attempted the Plague Lord yet. But I have a good feeling about it. My last relic I drafted before going into this fight was the Copter, the 5/1 rush that deals shot damage to everything.
That is really good. That's really
I can play it, and then I can ping it with my hero power and board clear. So we'll see if that works out for me. But we'll see how that goes. I haven't attempted Chapter 2 yet. I wanted to beat Chapter 1 with Reno and Finley before attempting Chapter 2. And so I haven't had a chance to get into Chapter 2 yet.
So I have beat both the first and second chapter with both Finley and Reno. I tell you though, I went over to Heroic. One thing I do like is, and I really didn't think I'd like this. I was worried about the Plague Lords. The fact they had 300 HP, I was like, really, how many runs do I have to go through 7 bosses to get to them when they have 300 hit points? They are one-shottable. It's difficult, but you can one-shot them. And sometimes you can only get through a phase. But I'm not so much sticker shocked about it as I was before I saw it. So that is a positive that I thought was going to be a negative. The heroics are no joke. Reno alone in the first chapter took me 115 boss kills before I finally cleared the first chapter with Reno. And I think it's just Reno in that first chapter, because the second chapter I knocked out in like 2 runs on heroic. And then I was able to take Finley, and I actually one-shot the first chapter on heroic with Finley. And then the second chapter I'm on there now, and I think I got my plague boss down to like 25 hit points. So by the end of today, I should have both chapters done with both heroes, ready for chapter 3 to tackle and get that done on both normal and heroic next week. I'm loving this solo content. It's a lot of fun. You're getting some really good pack rewards for completing a few bosses too. So far, I think we got 3 for each chapter. So that's a positive. I'm just really liking the solo content. Whatever team is on this, they're doing a really good job making it unique and different.
They are.
Even though it's still a roguelike. I thought we'd get tired of these roguelikes, but they keep switching it up just a little bit here and there. And if they can keep doing that, they can keep these styles going forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually hoping for more of like a bit of a Boomsday flavor in this, where it's like a little more puzzly, because you're in a tomb, trying to encounter traps, you're trying to like get through the ancient trap of putting the bag of sand on the pedestal to grab the idol type situation. Maybe we'll see that later. I hope so. If not,
well, I mean,
it leaves it open for round 3, I guess.
We do see some of the Explorer style solo content where we have some of the not necessarily puzzles, but like environmental fights, like the sinkhole we saw so far. And there are kind of finesse ways to play that. There are some of these bosses, if you can just play a certain way, it's almost like a puzzle. One of them is there's a girl that she has a hero power that copies a spell in your hand and reduces by 2. Well, if you can just make sure to prioritize playing spells, then she never gets any advantage out of her hero power. So it's just little kind of tweaks the way you play each of the bosses. And so far, I've probably downed close to 200 bosses already, and I'm still finding bosses I haven't seen yet. I had one this morning, and I had never seen it before, and it was really neat. So they've done a really good job with this one. I'm excited for the next 2 chapters and whatever the final 5th week is going to be.
Yeah.
Is there a robot bartender? That's all I need to know.
Not yet. I think he's there. I think he's there because I know, okay, this is a hot topic, especially on the Angry Chicken, saying that this guy does not exist and that the screenshots are doctored. And I personally have seen Bartendatron 2 times and took screenshots. And so I know he exists. That's just all I'm happy with that.
But I want to talk to you guys real quick before we move on about, did you see Kriparian's most recent video about Bob's bomberific deck?
No.
Okay, so there is a possibility in the Tombs of Terror. There is a relic called VIP membership.
Yes.
Okay.
I've gotten that one.
If you
twice.
get that and you go into the inn, there is a chance, once you have that, there's a chance for a card to spawn called Bob's Bomberific Deck, where
Really?
it replaces your deck with Bob's Tavern Brawl deck, and it is unbelievably off the wall, nuts, bonkers good.
Okay, I am picking VIP membership every time now. I've picked it twice, and I've seen it a couple other times, and they're just better options. But for people that don't know what VIP membership does, it upgrades your tavern, which it didn't say what it does to upgrade it. But basically what happens is you get 10 mana, a handful of cards, and both your side of the board and Bob's side of the board are completely filled with minions.
Yes.
So the potential with that is ridiculous. And they've done a better job balancing the Bazaar or Bob, whichever way you want to put it, that you always have a card that interacts with your enemy. You always have a card that interacts with one of your minions. And then the other ones are kind of, I think there's always one that interacts with your deck. And then the rest are kind of fillers from there. So before you would get like one-sided or the other and miss out on some stuff. They've done a better job with Bob, and I'm glad they did because everybody seems to love that portion of the adventure, that whole Bob friendly encounter thing.
Yeah.
And he has won me games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, no, keep an eye out. Check it out. It looks like a whole lot of fun. Check out Kriparian's video. I'm not a big Kriparian fan, but that video was a lot of fun to watch. All right, so that brings us to this week's Tavern Brawl, which I had, I'll be honest, completely forgot Tavern Brawl was a thing this week because I've been playing Tombs of Terror.
I didn't do my Tavern Brawl.
Sorry, Joe Mag. Sorry, Joe Mag. Tombs of Terror kind of overshadowed this week's Tavern Brawl, but it is a Brawl Block Tiny Fin mode where you have to construct a deck using only basic, common, and rare cards. So epics and legendaries do not exist in this brawl.
At all.
At all.
Can't discover
awesome. I love
You can't even discover them?
Nope.
Nope.
All discoveries are
out.
limited to basic, classic, and rare.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I did not know that, okay? So I did make a Murloc hoping I could discover some of the more the epics and the legendaries, but now that I know you can't, that makes me realize again. I go back to the fact that Joe Mag and that team, I think they put things in Brawl sometime to test out mechanics and coding before they decide to implement them. Can we do this? I don't know. Let's try a Brawl with it and see if it works. Okay, it worked, or okay, it didn't work, and it doesn't really affect the game live. And it's kind of a way to play test things. So I would love if they did things like this, discover a common or rare card or just, things like that. That's kind of neat that's something they can do. And kudos to Joe Mag to make a Brawl to test that out. And whether they're using it for testing or not, it's just neat to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, that moves us into this week's deck of the week. This is a deck you may see on the ladder. You'll definitely see it played in some tournament formats. And that is Combo Priest. So I'm going to run down this deck list, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mattatarms to kind of talk about how to play the deck. So it is 2 Circle of Healing, 1 Silence, 1 Topsy-Turvy, 2 Beaming Sidekick, 2 Inner Fires, 2 Light Warden, 2 Northshire Cleric, 2 Power Word Shield, 2 Divine Spirit, 2 Injured Tol'Vir, 2 Neferset Ritualists, 2 Wild Pyromancers, 1 Acolyte of Pain, 1 copy of Extra Arms, 2 Injured Blade Masters, 1 High Priest Amet, 2 Psycho Pomps, and of course, the King of the Dead himself, Bwansamde the Dead. All right, Man-at-Arms, take it away.
So, first thing with this deck, it's a misnomer to call this Combo Priest. This is really Tempo Priest. Your goal with this deck is to get on board early, stay on board as much as possible, disrupt their board as much, basically clear their board as much as possible, draw as many cards as you can, which is pretty easy with Light Warden, Circle of Healing, and just about everything else you have in your deck. And then if something sticks, do the Divine Shield, or the Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, or Topsy combo. Yep, you basically play this as a tempo deck. You're looking for, obviously, Light Ward. You're looking for the Northshire Cleric, Injured Tol'Vir, Injured Blade Master on 1, 2, and 3. High Priest Ahmet is the card that makes this deck go. Bonsomni is a later inclusion, and it's actually not entirely needed. It just helps draw your one drops, which in this deck are phenomenal. Beaming Sidekick is insane. Once I put Beaming Sidekick in this deck, it got incredible. And a lot of people were complaining about the fact that Extra Arms was nerfed back to 3 mana when Priest was just starting to get good, but if Extra Arms was still 2 mana, this deck would be even more complained about than it already is. So, and it's a very complicated deck to play. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of lines that you can go with on each turn. And honestly, this is the deck that has stuck out to me as my favorite deck in this expansion.
Awesome. Yeah, Adam in chat's begging us to please stop. Don't let new players know. They'll ruin the ladder with this experience. They'll ruin the ladder experience. So, yeah, well, we got to play all the decks at least once just to kind of give them their time, and then we move on to something else next week. So, all right. You guys have anything else you want to add today before we move on to the play portion of the show?
You know I do.
Of course.
So if you are listening to us in the Knoxville, Tennessee area, we do have a fireside coming up next Saturday, the 28th, or this coming Saturday if you listen to us on the download, 28th starting at 5 p.m. over Level Up Games. So make sure to join us over there. Also, if you're part of the Knoxville Hearthstone Facebook group, keep your eyes peeled for some news coming up next week about some future events.
Okay, so Adam actually has a question for us in the chat. He says, I'm going to be competing in the next European qualifiers, and I'm curious, what is the best lineup of decks to take? So I will let you guys discuss that.
So in a best of 3 conquest situation, I would bring Combo Priest for sure. I would probably bring Quest Shaman and likely either Control Warrior or Quest Druid. Either one of those two. But that's me. I'm not sure. I'm not a big fan of where Warrior is at right now, but I think I prefer playing Druid, but that's just my playstyle.
Yeah, so I take a different route on this. I would be banning as many priests as I can possibly get a hold of, since there'll be no shield phase. And what I would be playing is Holy Wrath Paladin, Control Warrior, because I believe Control Warrior still is good if you can tech out against the aggro matchups. You're going to see a lot of aggro, and then of course Quest Druid, because Quest Druid also does good against the aggro. But mainly you're going to go against aggro and kind of that mid-rangey. And I think Paladin is good there with Holy Wrath. If you practice with the deck, Holy Wrath Paladin is, in my opinion, one of the best decks in the format right now.
And to answer Ahmed Adams' question, I would go with the Nomi Ferris Druid for King P Druid. Not a big fan of King P, but you kind of need him in some matchups. But I think that's the better version of the deck, at least in my opinion.
So I am not a fan of Nomi or King Pharos, because if you get to that point of the game, if they can get the removal out, then both of those are dead in the water. If they can constitute enough removal, and in those matchups, you're probably facing control style decks anyways. What I have replaced Nami and Pharos with, to give a little bit of my secrets that I've been successful with in the leagues that I play in, is I put in Mechathoon. And how that works is you play it, the rest of the deck is the same, except that you want to keep 1 Bees and Floop for Mechathoon. Because you make sure you played all your other minions, you play the Mechathoon, they have to deal with a 10-10. And then you can play Floop, which is a 3/4 version of Mechathoon, and target it with Bees. That's the combo. And in any aggro-based matchup, you just play it like normal, because you're never going to need Mechathoon. And Mechathoon is a single 10-10 threat that you're probably going to win without even needing him anyways. Where Ferris and Nomi are good is in those control matchups, and in my opinion, Mechathoon's better because you literally just win the game.
Yeah, if you want more information on that Mechathoon Bees, Quest Druid, see last week's episode.
It was last week's show. I think we played that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can look back on our website at heropowerhs.com and get the deck list from last week's show. But yeah, it's sort of like the Spanish Inquisition. Nobody expects Mechathoon.
No way does.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's show. If you're joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show as we are going to check out this Combo Priest. If you are listening via our audio download podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers or on our website at HeroPowerHS.com. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your hero power.
All right, gentlemen. Well, while I am firing up Hearthstone, I guess Mattatarms, you were going to drive this week, so...
Yep. I am driving.
I know you're playing THL, so make sure your spectate's on.
Oh, yeah, I double-checked that when I fired up Hearthstone. Alrighty. Spin. Oh, you're not out yet.
Go ahead and start looking for an opponent. By the time I'm in, we should be ready to spectate.
Maybe. Come on, Hearthstone.
And I'm fighting the spectate boss. It keeps wanting to challenge you. What is going on? There we go.
All right.
It's weird that the spectate box would show up and then immediately change to the one where I'm challenging you. I'm like, what? No.
All right. So in my opening hand, I have a Northshire Cleric, Alkali Pain, Bonsomni, and a Powered Shield. So that means I'm on the coin. I'm going to dump Bonsomni and probably this Acolyte for now. I really want, and especially in this matchup, I really want the injured Tolvir and the other injured Blade Master as well.
So here's my question, though, and this is just my style of play. Is there any merit to keeping the Acolyte? Because you know they're going to be putting down a lot of 1/1s and 2/2s.
Yeah,
it's quest.
It's probably a good thought. I mean, yeah, and there's really no thing that does direct 3 damage except for the Wasp in Quest Druid or Quest Shaman.
Yeah,
which this 99% of the time is. So yeah, I think.
Okay, so Adam asks what would be a good replacement for Bonsomni if you don't have him.
Basically, you can run without him. I would cut probably the Light Warden out of the deck. Run a second Acolyte and maybe a second extra arm. Or it's only one card, so maybe cut one of the Light Wardens and run 2 extra arms and the Acolyte of Pain. So,
and Bonsomni is basically he's just late game draw, right?
Yeah. So I'm going to lead off with the Light Warden because it's better than dropping Northshire in 1 and having him try to remove it.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Menacing Nimbus and Quest Shaman. I haven't seen that in the list.
So I'm probably going to actually use my coin here. I'm going to power. Actually, can I? No, I can't do that. Yeah, I can. I'm going to power shield this girl. Bring out Neferset's really nice here.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to attack in and heal her up with my coin. That way, she's now a 3/4, and now I have pretty strong board advantage here now.
Yeah. And having a Northshire and Neferset, that's just... I think he ignores you and just tries to race.
Yeah. Because next turn I can drop Northshire and Neferset after I trade in and then draw another card, clear out this 2-1. Ooh, extra arms is tempting, but
yeah, I like
better.
this line better. I guess my question now is going to be: Is there any merit to topsy-turvying after you heal up the warden?
No, I want to use Topsy Turvy for lethal. It's basically my third inner fire in this deck.
Okay. The reason I was thinking is having a 4/5 instead of a 5/4 might actually keep it alive longer.
And we can do that.
Because I mean her attack's going to keep going up.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, honestly, the Light Warden is bait, so he ignores Northshire Cleric, and then I can drop High Priest Dammit next turn and
that's fair. Okay,
have it stick and hopefully win the game.
Yeah, and Ahmet and Light Warden. Oh my God, that's sick right there. It comes out as a 1/7. And see they would have had trade both minions in, but it's still.
Yeah, so now I can drop extra arms on. Do I want to do that? I can bring back the girl. I don't want to.
They didn't trade the lackey, which makes me wonder if they have the second wasp in hand.
Yeah. So that makes me almost want to drop the Acolyte of Pain. Or no, that's 3 mana too. I think I just drop Amit here and clear the lackey and the Sludge Slurper.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate that.
Because I can try to get. Because then if I drop Psychopomp next turn, then I have a 3/7 Psychopomp plus whatever comes back as a whatever 7.
Yeah, possibly Ahmet. Yeah, if Ahmet gets killed, Ahmet might even come back.
Yeah.
The name of the game right now is just to try to get our minions to stick to the board, right?
Yeah, stick to the board and play for tempo. That's basically what you're doing at this point.
So he's wanting the 2 damage. Actually, 2 damage won't even let him clear it because if he has a wasp, he's going to have to leave the Ahmed up unless he softens it.
Yeah, this card is insane. There's no replacement for Ahmet in this deck. Box Lusher? Okay. That's fine. That's fine too. Alright, so now we're just going to Psychopomp.
Yes, hopefully we can get back to Warden, and we did.
So now...
Circle of Healing?
Yeah, go face and circle. Actually, I almost want to drop the second one.
I would. Gives him one more threat to get rid of. Maybe we should have circled first.
No, I want her to have 5 attack.
Okay,
too.
I guess that makes sense. Because she's basically just a security blanket for us.
Yeah.
Back up. Okay. Because they don't really have board clears in this deck, just spot removal.
Yeah, the only board clears I have are... Oh, that's right. I played into Mind Control Tech.
Double. Actually, that's good. That was probably the best outcome for us.
Because right now he can't really do anything, and I can extra arms twice on my Ahmet.
I'm hoping
or extra arm. Or I can... Ooh. Do I Psychopomp here?
So how much damage do we have here? So that's 7, so
we
14,
12,
16. 16?
We have 15, or we have, well, let's see here. 10, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22, 23, 24. We have 25. I think. No. This is hard. This deck's hard. Just heads up.
Yeah.
I'm going to clear that. I'm going to clear that. I'm going to heal that.
Yeah, we use the one with Reborn too, so that if they clear it, one comes up. Okay. And we didn't play into another mind control.
Yeah. Sorry if I'm not discussing my plays. It's just there's a lot going on.
It's a very complicated deck. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I don't play it, because it's a little more than my brain can handle. I can play Holy Repellent until my head's blue, but I can't fathom Combo Priest.
Yeah. Zerotio can only go with his 10 fingers and 10 toes. After that, it gets too complicated.
Well, so he knows
right.
20. He knows 25, and after that, he can figure it out.
Yeah. I count to 25. That's about it. That's right.
All right. Amit going away isn't a big deal because we have 2 large girls on our board.
And we have Psycho Pump, which could bring us Amit back.
Yeah, or bring back Northshire Cleric, which would be super at this point.
Would be. Yeah. He's having trouble. He does not know what to do. Oh, that's in his
fun.
deck.
Interesting.
That did not
he must be running.
come off
He must
the
be
Discover.
running. All right, let me see what's in the box.
Okay.
Oop. And I'm going to extra arms her and go face.
Don't hate it.
Next turn, I'm probably dropping Acolyte.
We need some card draw.
Yeah. Another card that's really good in this deck is Holy Ripple, especially versus this deck. I've been running it in my THL and ladder matches, in some of my ladder matches. Sure. All right. So this is definitely going down.
We beam any sidekick anything?
Yeah, we beam sidekick the girl. Heal
Now
off.
we want to trade off Psycho Pump because we want to play around
Mind control.
mind control tech, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate doing that.
Now, do we topsy-turvy now?
What do we topsy-turvy? Oh, topsy-turvy.
Is a 2-3 better than a 3-2?
Probably. I don't hate it.
I'm just trying to figure out ways to keep it alive.
Yeah.
Because the attack's going to keep going up. Not worried about that.
Ugh, that's fine.
Yeah. Let's deal with the second half. Is not going to deal with the second half. So we have draw. That's nice.
I clear that off.
Yeah, get the lackey.
Shield's really good.
Yep.
I'm going to shield her.
Huh?
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. I'm going to heal this guy.
Heal the taunt? Okay.
Yep. Divine Spirit, can't do anything yet. Clear off her, and I'm going to go face with her.
I like that. We need to get some face damage in. Soften them up for a possible lethal. Because at this point, any minion they keep on the board is potential lethal.
Really?
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 Wow. Their discovers are on point today.
Well, they got lucky with that one. Man, that killed me. I think I'm dead now.
I think you're right.
Because I'm kind of out of gas unless I can draw. I mean, I can just draw that for tempo. I'm not going to get anything out of it since I drew everything. No, I got a sidekick. Do I just... Yeah. I mean, if Bonsomni sticks... Oh, that's a good thing to burn. This must be the Zephyr... They've been running doubles? I don't have Deck Tracker running.
What were you asking? Do they run duplicates?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have lots of duplicates.
Okay.
From what I can tell here. 2 Menacing Nimbuses and 2 Evil Cabaret so far.
All right. Yeah, I think I'm just playing this out because there's really...
I mean, there is a stretch, but...
Not with this guy. I mean, he's just going to kill this guy.
Yeah, good point. The 8...
I mean, I could Divine Spirit it, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah. I think there could have been some merit to having earlier aggression. But then again, we never drew into the inner fire, so
Yeah.
maybe the early aggression
Yeah, I
wouldn't have
mean,
done anything.
the Divine Spirit earlier would have been better.
Well, the early aggression I was talking about was involving Topsy.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, we're dead.
Lethal on board.
Good.
We could trade it off, but
I mean, we're out of minions at this point. There's nothing left in the deck that can stick around at this point. All right, we'll see if we can do better this time.
does it feel good to be back in the saddle?
It does. It does. I wish we were playing Clibber's Quest Priest because I had the most disgusting game of that deck. Quest Mage the other day, where I pulled off Exodia, with Glinda off Astral Rift off my hero power.
Wait, you mean they made a new quest for Mage?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that card before.
All right, so I'm keeping everything except for Inner Fire. I'm honestly going to be playing Injured Fulvir on 2, Northstar Cleric on 3, and healing. That's my game.
I like that. I mean, if we draw the Divine Spirit, if we were placing a mirror match, I probably would have kept the Inner Fire, but this isn't a mirror, so.
Actually, do I just coin out the Tolvir?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because then I can Northshire circle next turn.
Yeah. And if we happen to draw something like a Beaming Sidekick or Light Warden, that doesn't help. Trade and then do that?
Yeah.
Does it give it full value?
I don't get too greedy on this.
I think we just take the card draw. I mean, we're at a point now. I mean, we can Divine Spirit Topsy for 12 damage.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wouldn't want to do that right now. But if we got Inner Fire, I probably would say yeah.
If we get the second Divine Spirit, then we go full Northshire.
Full Northshire. Oh, my goodness. Kids, don't try this at home. Never go full Northshire.
Actually, it's really in the mirror. You do not go full Northshire.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, I got another pack from watching play Hearthstone.
Oh my gosh. So next turn, we're looking at trade in the 1/1, trade into the other 1/1. Never set ritualist and they concede.
Will we be drawing too many cards at that point?
No. We're okay.
Well, oh my
now
goodness.
We will be. So hold on. If I draw, so basically, if I trade Blade Master, that's 3 cards. I have 7 cards in hand, -2, so I'll be fine.
Okay. We're drawing 6 cards.
Adam
Oh,
says,
yeah,
"Be
you're
careful to play around MCT."
Well, that's not happening. But honestly, the only thing, the ritual, the 2/6 taunt would be the only thing would be bad for them to steal.
Oh yeah, we are drawing 6, aren't we?
Yeah, making me nervous.
That's why you
we
never
burn
go
something, we burn
full
something.
Northshire.
This is great draw.
There. We saved a card.
Yeah, we could ditch the Topsy. That's fine. We got 2 inner fires, so good. He only
That's
got 1.
fine.
I think we're threatening lethal.
Mogu does, unless you can. It's fine.
That's just going to soften it. Is this lethal? Second Divine Spirit definitely is. Oh, goodness.
Octodad.
Okay, so beaming sidekick. You can't fit in a heal. No. Never set.
14,
That would be 14-14. Is just having a
14 plus 7 is 21, 22.
So we got 22. I think we just do it.
Yeah.
Question is, do we trade? Yeah, I say we trade to Lackey. Second mind control deck is a problem,
Yeah.
especially since he completed quest. But we're still in a good spot.
Yeah.
He's hovering over the beaming sidekicks, which makes me think he's like, I don't want to grab those.
What is this card again?
Or he's telling the game if he mind control techs, don't grab these.
Or he just.
I do that.
So-
I'll hover over cards and be like, don't do this, don't do this. Works for me sometimes. Makes me feel better at least.
Ziliax.
Ooh. He can kill it.
He still has his.
Jeez.
Okay. That's fine.
Wait, do we have?
Sure.
Silence is lethal? Trade puts him at 16. No. Trying to figure out a way to do this.
All Pyromancers, Inner Fire.
I mean, we can inner fire a 1/2 to kill off that. Well, yeah. I see what you're going at. This makes it so he doesn't heal any. That's lethal, right?
And it's lethal.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking a different line would have put him at 1, but that would involve trading into the. Good. We got time for one more? I say yeah.
We're 1-1. Might as well play best 2 out of 3.
There's a lot of
I was
thinking
looking at
in
it
this
like,
deck.
what's that?
There's a lot of thinking in this deck. It just hurts my brain.
Yeah, you have to be kind of 100% focused, or at least 99% focused on this deck to make it work.
It's not often that I co-op playing a deck with somebody and we're just every turn thinking of different lines of play.
There's at least
sometimes.
Yeah, there's at least 7 or 8 different things to do. Per turn.
Yeah, to me it's just so confusing in a good way. It's complicated.
So I'm pitching all this. I really want Northshires. I'm seeing a lot of Shaman.
I need to get back on the ladder. I'm at rank 2. I need to try to push at least for rank 1. I've been playing too much solo content. No, let's start.
We're not easy.
Shaman's popular right now. It's because it's an easy and towards the end of the month ladder grinder. You know, it's fast deck, fairly consistent.
I really like extra arms. I'm glad they pushed it back up to 3. It was way too good at 2 because we could literally win the game at this point if this was 2 mana.
It's not so much how much it costs to get the +2/+2. It's more the fact that you can couple it with like Wild Pyromancer and Divine Spirits and all that stuff.
Ooh. All right, so I'm going to attack him in the face.
And then heal him.
Heal him in the face.
Yep. I like it. I mean, a lot of people say, why you heal your opponent? You heal for 2, but you net 2 extra damage, so it's a net positive. It's a parry.
Yeah, you do 1 damage, you heal for 1, and she does 3 damage now. She's now a 3/2.
Yeah.
All right, this is an easy extra arms.
Extra arms.
That off.
Face?
No, I don't want to deal with lackeys.
Okay.
And next turn, if he plays a lackey, I can injure Tolvir and then never set and make her big.
Yeah. And she's out of range of
Piper.
Witchwood Piper. That's an interesting tech.
Do we have? Let's see. So hold on.
6, 12. No, do we trade?
Yeah, we trade her off. We want her to be.
Oh yeah, we have the Ritualist. That's right.
Yeah, we want her to be big.
This is a huge setup.
This card in the middle right here, Never Set Ritualist, is insane.
It's ridiculous. Oh, it's so good.
So now we can do 12 damage to the place plus 9 if basically we are setting up lethal next turn with the Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, and the 9/4. If this guy's a goldfish and does nothing. Which not
basically he's doing nothing.
Close enough.
Now he has to do something with 2 mana.
Sure. So
12, 21, not quite lethal.
It's close enough. Like I can.
I mean, I'd do it.
Kill.
Then Divine Spirit, Inner Fire on the 2/6. I mean, how does he deal with this? A random generated hex?
A hex.
And he still loses?
Yeah.
I mean, he can Ethereal Lackey.
Plague of Murlocs is about it.
Plague of Murlocs. And that's still, I mean, he still could be lethal from there.
Yeah.
Because we have the More Arms and Inner Fire.
This is why I killed the Lackey Generator right off the bat, because I don't want any more outs for him.
Yes. The lackeys are so powerful on the board. It's so weird to say that about a 1/1. He can't double up this turn because he only has 2 mana.
And he doesn't have an next turn. There's at this point, there's nothing.
There's no way he can win. Yeah.
Yeah. Short of like Tyrion off a taunt, off like Mogu. That's about it. And still win because I can clear Tyrion.
The end is coming. Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is. Oh, that's actually smart of him.
It's not a terrible play, but still, it's.
I mean, it's dead on board still.
Yeah,
that was textbook right there.
That's how you. That's. This is why I call it tempo freeze because you win turn 5, turn 6, turn 4.
It's just fast.
Often. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
All right. Well, I like it. Like you said, it's a lot of trying to figure out the best line out of multiple possible good lines.
Yeah, and whip out the abacus because it's a lot of math.
Well, when you get into like boards that are full and you have a pyro and 2 spells, and one of them Circle of Healing and a Light Warden on board, sometimes you just play the first spell, play Circle, drag the Light Warden over their face, and maybe it explodes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those deals.
Yeah.
So.
It's one of those decks that I wish I had Alexa right next to my computer, so I can be, Alexa, do I have lethal? Because it sneaks up on you. You're like, oh, I'm like 6 damage out. Oh wait, no, I have lethal. What the heck?
Yeah.
So actually, I just saw a version of this deck the other day that was a singleton dragon or priest.
Wow.
That obviously runs Zephyrus, but I'm like. That doesn't seem like a bad idea.
Yeah. Adam says, ruining the ladder experience for all other players.
Hey.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
No, not all other players, just the shaman players today, because that's all we face.
Shaman today. Quest Druid.
and honestly, if they're playing Quest Shaman, they probably deserve it. So, all right. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for us this week. If you have any questions or comments about the show, feel free to shoot us an email at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so already, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. And for more details about our patron-only Discord, you can head over to patreon.com/heropower. And we'll see you all again next week.
Bye, guys.
Adios. Grazie, ragazzi.